Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my questions are going to be addressed to all five. We have five experts on anti-Semitism, and I look forward to taking advantage of their knowledge. This is not the Foreign Relations Committee, so we're not here to debate the wisdom or lack of wisdom of what the Netanyahu government is doing in Gaza right now. But the reality is that 92% of the housing units in Gaza have been destroyed. Most hospitals and primary healthcare facilities have been bombed. Civilian infrastructure has been devastated. 50,000 people, mostly women and children, have been killed. Over 100,000 have been wounded. If I or any other member of this committee makes that point, that we think, and again, I don't want to debate the policies right now, but if we think that the United States should not be supplying more bombs and artillery to the Netanyahu government, do you think, I don't want the debate on Israel, do you think that is anti-Semitic? Briefly, Ms. Gamble, start it and go right down the line. Am I being anti-Semitic if I say that the United States taxpayers should not supply more weapons to Israel?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a recent clip featuring Senator Bernie Sanders, where he makes some pretty controversial statements regarding anti-Semitism and U.S. foreign policy. And let me tell you, I have a lot to say about this.
That statement alone is not anti-Semitic. It does not attack Jewish identity.
Rabbi?
I must say, you are revered on one side of the aisle and respected on the other side of the aisle for the strength of your convictions. You do not say dispassionate statements. So just like I believe we have to respect the right of everyone to their opinion, I believe the Prime Minister is a democratically elected official and is entitled to his opinion. Do I think it is anti-Semitic to criticize him? I don't think so. If you criticize somebody who's Jewish, that's not anti-Semitic. If you criticize the fact that they're Jewish,
Right,
or use that to criticize something, that's anti-Semitic.
Dr. Small, briefly, we don't have a lot of time.
So again, I would agree with the rabbi. What you said is not anti-Semitic, but what I would say with great respect is that we have to flip the equation. I think instead of blaming the victim or looking to the victim of Hamas, of the Muslim Brotherhood, we have to understand the ideology at work that's confronting
I don't think there's any
Israel.
debate up here that Hamas is a terrorist organization. What they did on October 7th is beyond disgusting. Rabbi Saperstein.
No, I don't think it is anti-Semitic if you say it, or people on college campuses say it. But on college campuses, there are too many instances in which those kinds of political statements are mixed with rank hatred against Jews, and that steps over the line into anti-Semitism.
Mr. Stern.
Senator Sanders, that statement, that opinion alone is not anti-Semitic.
Okay, now I need your help on something else. I have never met George Soros in my life, to the best of my knowledge. I don't believe I've ever received a nickel in campaign funding from Mr. Soros. But I think, as all of you know, Soros has been a stereotype, a manifestation of anti-Semitism all over the world. Yes? So when we talk about anti-Semitism, one of the tropes that has always been used, Protocols of Zion, is that there's this mysterious underground group of zillionaire Jews who are manipulating the whole world, right? Is that the trope? Okay. This, from the Holocaust Memorial Museum, is something that appeared in Hungary, a Hungarian anti-Semitic publication. Jews, puppeteers, right? Familiar with that trope? Mm-hmm. This is from a Donald Trump campaign email. George Soros, puppeteer. Biden is the puppet being manipulated. Okay. I don't want to make a big deal about it. Ms. Gamble, does that look to you like an anti-Semitic trope?
I think that there's no question that there is a relationship when you look at the two images that would cause that question to be raised. Again, I think context is key.
Rabbi?
George
Briefly, I want to hear from everybody. Yes or no? Is that do you think that has anti-Semitic overtones?
I think that George Soros is Jewish, although he doesn't really identify closely with the community.
okay.
1 minute.
No, you don't have 1 minute. I got 17 seconds, sir.
Okay, 17 seconds.
Is this anti-Semitic?
Very simply, he's being criticized, he's Jewish. I don't know that he's being criticized because he's Jewish.
All right, Dr. Simone?
And I would say very briefly, we're living in a time where the Democratic center is under attack from the extreme right, the extreme left, and radical Islam.
I asked you a question. Does this look like an anti-Semitic trope?
Yes.
Rabbi Saperstein?
Yes.
Mr. Stern?
Anti-Semitism is two things, in its essence: a conspiracy theory that Jews try to harm humanity and giving them an explanation for what goes wrong in the world. That picture is anti-Semitic. Orban was using it recently as well, clearly anti-Semitic.
Okay, thank you very much.
Senator Collins.
All right, first off, Sanders starts off by addressing a panel of so-called experts on anti-Semitism, making it clear that they aren't there to debate Israel's actions in Gaza. He discusses the destruction there, citing high casualty numbers and infrastructure damage. Now, here's where I pause. While I can sympathize with the loss of life, we must also recognize the context. Hamas is a terrorist organization that has consistently targeted Israel. The conversation should focus on that, not just the figures. Then, Sanders asks if criticizing U.S. military aid to Israel is anti-Semitic. He seems to think questioning our support for Israel is a noble stance. But let's be real here. Supporting our ally in the Middle East isn't anti-Semitic. It's about ensuring security for a democratic nation that shares our values. It's frustrating to see politicians twist the narrative to fit their agenda. The panelists mostly agree with Sanders, saying that criticizing military aid isn't inherently anti-Semitic. I get it. Free speech is important, but let's not ignore the fact that some criticisms do cross the line into outright hostility against Jews. We've seen it on college campuses where anti-Israel sentiment often morphs into anti-Semitism. That's something we need to address, not brush under the rug. Now, let's talk about George Soros. Sanders mentions he's never met Soros, but acknowledges the anti-Semitic tropes surrounding him. This is where things get interesting. Sanders brings up a graphic from a Trump campaign email that compares Soros to a puppeteer controlling Biden. Sure, it's provocative, but let's look at the substance. Soros has financially supported movements that undermine our national interests. It's not about his Jewish identity, it's about his actions and the influence he wields. During this discussion, Sanders shows an image linking Soros to Holocaust-era propaganda. Hold on a second. Making that comparison is not only irresponsible, it's dangerous. It trivializes the horrific history of the Holocaust. We can't allow political discourse to devolve into name-calling and fear-mongering. Instead of addressing valid concerns about Soros' influence, Sanders resorts to historical victimization. That's a tactic meant to shut down legitimate criticism. Most panelists end up agreeing that the Trump campaign image has anti-Semitic overtones. But here's the kicker. It's not anti-Semitic to question someone's motives, especially when they've been involved in controversial activities. We must distinguish between criticizing actions and perpetuating hatred. So, what's the takeaway here? As right-wing patriots, we must stand firm against any form of anti-Semitism, while also advocating for our allies like Israel. We can't let politicians like Sanders manipulate the narrative to silence those who dare to question the status quo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Sanders' comments were fair, or do you think he crossed a line? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that defends our values and holds our leaders accountable. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting for what you believe in. See you next time.